How's it going, folks? Welcome to the topics. Welcome to another video. Ethereum going above the $3,900. Bitcoin still at 116 and a half, 117, but it doesn't show enough strength to go beyond that point. XRP back at the $3.30, so in a very good range. There's a lot of things happening in the market, especially on Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and other altcoins. These are kind of getting some momentum right now, but I do still believe that we have another leg up for Bitcoin in the short term until September, more or less. So let's talk about it in today's video. So as always, let's jump here on the second screen. We already covered Bitcoin and Ethereum's price. We have XRP at 332. We have BNB at 785, Solana at 176. So Bitcoin is not doing as good as we wanted, but you can see that now we're moving towards altcoin season. You can see that number was 20 most of the time, 20, 21, 25, but now we're getting towards the 35, 40, even 50. Most likely we'll see 50 here in the altcoin season, but I still believe that Bitcoin has another leg to give before the end of the cycle. I think by September, this is the time frame that I'm working with, that I've been working with, so I'm gonna stick with it, which is I think September, end of September, beginning of October is the end of the cycle for crypto, and then I think we're gonna see some slowdown in crypto activity. And one thing that I like to show all the time is the M2 global growth. So it is comparing crypto to the markets, and here we can see exactly what I'm talking about. We had this huge rally right here from the M2, but we haven't seen a huge rally like this yet on Bitcoin. Yes, we did have a little bit of an increase, but it looks more like this than this. Previously to that, we had this huge movement here on the M2, so the global supply of the entire world economy. So you see that went up before, and then we saw it going up like this. This bottom was this bottom, and this huge spike right here. Right now, it looks like we're right here. We're seeing this, but I still believe that we have another leg up to go here towards maybe $160,000, $170,000 for Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin still slow, still very, reluctant to go up. And we can see that clearly right now, when we went above the moving average, this white line is 200 moving average, but we're kind of stuck right here. So we did not have enough strength to keep going above, keep going just up. We corrected, we touched this bottom right here of the $116,000. But now, if we look on a daily, we can see that we still have some room to go right here on the upside of the Bollinger Bands, and the yellow moving average should hold us in case we just test and then move on. But I just think that today we're going to be testing towards the low 116,000 and keep going towards the 120, 122, maybe even upwards, because the RSI on the daily already reset it for Bitcoin, enough for another momentum. And now if we look to Ethereum is actually looking a little better. We saw it almost touch the $4,000. We went at 39.74. Now we're correcting once again towards this moving average right here, this yellow line. On the daily, you see that we also have a lot of strength, but because yesterday's candle was a huge movement in price, I think today we're going to take it a little bit slower, but I don't think we're going to fall all the way back to the 3,700 or even 3,600. I think we're going to keep it at the 3,790, 3,800 in this range, more or less. For Solana, unfortunately, Solana always looks bad because we went from $200 more or less all the way down to the 150. Now we're looking a little bit more bullish, but the RSI on the 4 hours is already getting to a point where it is overextended on the buy side. So it means that there's going to be more coasting throughout the next days to then have another leg up. If we switch to the daily, we can see clearly that we do have a bullishness here, some bullishness here, but still, because the RSI on the 4 hours chart is almost on overbought, it means that this movement, even though on the daily the RSI still has lots to grow, this movement will not be continuously high as this. We're not going to see it go like this. Most likely it's going to topple up right here a little bit and then go another leg up. So if you're gonna long Solana, just be a little careful. I think right now is not the time to long Solana. Longing Solana was right around here when this crossed. If you were looking at the 4 hours chart, you could have seen it right here when it crossed the moving average, like this candle closed below, but then this candle boosted and we had huge volumes as well. If you wanted to long, you could have long right here, right after the top of this candle right here. So if you could have gotten this long right here, bam, 2.72%. If you're longing that 20x, 50x, 200x, whatever it is, that would have been a good return for you, because clearly it made sense, because we would have shown a lot of strength coming from here, even coming from here if you wanted to get more of a risky trade, waiting for this this tip right here to get right in the beginning of this candle all the way up to maybe 3-4%. So I don't think right now is the good opportunity for you to long anything, especially Solana. I think if you want to hold it up, maybe wait until we test the 172 again here, right around the moving average. Then when the RSI gets towards the 50s again, we can look for another long on Solana, maybe on Ethereum as well. Ethereum right now super extended. Yeah, you can see the Bollinger Bands right here, very, very close. We had this explosion in price. Now most likely is going to correct, and then another explosion in price. And I still think Bitcoin is going to go up a lot, mainly because the M2 that I shown, and also because Bitcoin and the US dollars, they have an inverse correlation, meaning that when one is going up, the other one is going down, and vice versa by 1.5 points, meaning that when the dollar moves, usually Bitcoin moves the other way by 1.5 times. So the dollar has started to weaken these past few days. We've seen the dollar weaken, and if you look at the dollar weakening and Bitcoin gaining a little more strength, if we get that factor with the M2 signal that we saw, and most likely we're going to have a leg up, we can shoot that number to be around the 150, 160, all the way to the $17,000 for Bitcoin. Still this cycle, still in the next maybe 60 days, we can see that. So mark my words. I don't know if I'm going to be wrong or right, but mark my words. I do believe before October ends, we're going to be seeing Bitcoin at 170. I don't know if it's going to be more than that, but 170 is for sure around that number. Hopefully that will bring Ethereum above the 4K as well. Will bring Solana back to the 200, maybe even $300-400 per Solana. Who knows? But that is something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about copy trading. If we go to the copy trading tab right now, we're doing 1.82% for the month of August here for the 0DTE, and 0.1% for the month of August in the Phoenix strategy. So if you remember, I said in the last video, the Phoenix strategy is basically the very, very passive. We do maybe 2 trades the whole month with this strategy, and the 0DTE is the one that we have almost daily trades here with this strategy, and that is a little bit more high risk, high rewards sorts of things. And so far the projected forecast for this year is 82% for the future year of this strategy. So far the total P&L, which started May 2024, so a little over 1 year and 3 months ago, if you were one of the few that deposited right in the beginning of the strategy in May 2024, you would have made 100% returns on your dollar. So this strategy, you do not require Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana. No, with this strategy, you require only stable coins, USDC, USDT. So imagine you doubled your money just by holding dollars. So that is the point right here. This is a very, very good strategy. And we have right here the assets under management going towards $3.2 million. That is amazing to see. And we're going towards the 700 people in this strategy so far. So welcome. And if you haven't checked it out, you can make money not only with this by depositing here, which if you want to do is the first link in the description, or this QR code that you're seeing right here at the bottom. But what you can also do is get referrals that you're going to make money because your referrals are making money with the copy trading. So part of these success fees that you see right here at the top, part of these success fees gets distributed to users. But again, when you register, use the first link in the description, and then you're going to have your referral code to send to friends, family, whoever wants to. And when they deposit, and we have profitable trades here on the copy trading, or if they're trading on the platform, we have some of those fees that goes back to you in a sort of referral system program. So check more about the referral system on Bitopics, or just join the Discord. There we can answer more of your questions if you have anything regarding that. But other than that, the copy trading has done fantastic. So before we end the video, the volatility is still very, very low. I would like to see volatility a little bit higher. So trading wise, we're not doing much here. I'm doing my trading on other accounts because I'm doing a lot of different strategies to see what works. But if we go right here, we can see that we're still holding the 2400 Ethereum call that we bought. This is a leap. So for next year, and this one is 71% in the profit, 71.2. You can see, I don't think I'm going to close that because I do believe we're going to see $4,000 Ethereum in the short term. So I still think this one will get closer to 100%, maybe even higher than that, depending on the movement here that we see. But I still think that we're going to see high numbers with this leap right here. Otherwise, I would have closed. But I spoke with a lot of people and we exchanged some ideas, and we're like, well, this is going to go for 4,000 for sure. So this is going to be very, very good for you if you were to hold this position a little bit longer. So this is what I'm doing, and so far so good. So hopefully this makes sense. If you have any questions regarding the topics or anything else, the Discord is also linked in the description. If you just want to chat, you can drop a question right now below in the comments. I usually am the one who answers these questions anyways. So if you have any questions and you don't want to go to the Discord, feel free to drop a comment, and it also helps with engagement on the video. That being said, thank you very much. I'll see you guys on Monday for another video. In the meantime, hopefully we have an amazing weekend. Thank you. Take care. Peace.